Now, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to caution you to keep the fight clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck, Bruno Suarte. Touch him up.
And use his bigger, stronger body to put pressure on the Puerto Rican fighter. Cotto seems ready for that. He got his career rolling. Antonio Margarito has never lost to a shorter man. Smaller opponents before. Landed his jab a couple of times and landed a good left hook. Now there's an uppercut from Margarito. And the first minute produces more of a boxing match than some expected. Both fighters have had some offensive moments simultaneously. Flurry by Cotto, but putting space between the punches. Now the left uppercut from Margarito, and he steps in the corner and fires away. Good job slipping the right hand there. And another combination. Now a Margarito combination. And Cotto counters perfectly. Terrific left hooks by Cotto. Very precise first 2.5 minutes. Both men boxing. Cotto goes to the body first.
Keep him up.
But I think that's the way that most boxing experts expected the first round to go.
If Antonio Margarito only throws 57 punches in a round, that's a slow round for him. Right between Margarito's gloves. Hasn't really found the timing to land repeated combinations yet. Cheek of Cotto.
The drama here is also Margarito's such a good puncher, and Cotto has been on the canvas and rocked before.
See that? Now Margarito gets the space he wants and smiles at Cotto as if to say, all right, now we're fighting.
Watch your heads, watch your heads.
Kenny Bayless says, watch your heads. They're landing with their hands.
But Cotto's one, but Margarito is really putting a lot of pressure on him, unlike any he's ever had. And pressure from a taller fighter is different than from a shorter fighter.
Margarito landed an excellent right hand about 10 seconds ago.
Margarito is starting to develop the volume which has typified his career. Cotto pounding him with repeated left hooks. Both fighters have said hello in round 2. Margarito hammering Cotto to the body in the corner.
The man picks most of the punches off.
No,
he's
it's
going to
a fight.
have to fight it.
Cotto with 2 good left hooks upstairs. Margarito drives him back with a right hand of Miguel Cotto. So Margarito's made his mark in terms of drawn blood. And the Mexican fans in the crowd love that. Cotto chopping and chopping with the left hand. Confrontation. What a round, round 2 has been.
Wow.
CompuBox numbers in round 2 were spectacular. Cotto 35 out of 80. Margarito 33 out of 96. Now let's see if Cotto can begin to make it more of a boxing match again. Into the corners and against the ropes where he can fire away at will. Now they go back to the phone booth again. Cotto lands 2 body shots and a left hook upstairs. Margarito reaching with a left and with 2 body shots of his own. Hard right hand over the top for Margarito. Cotto with a right and a left inside. What a variety of punches from Cotto in that combination. Body shot, 2 uppercuts, chopping right hand. Cotto comes back with 3 punches of his own.
I think Margarito right now, his defense is doing very well. He's catching a lot of punches and steadily.
These kind of shots in a sustained way like this.
We promised violence.
And
Good
so
left
far,
hook.
but Margarito very live. And as the fight wears on, he gets busier and busier and increasingly dangerous.
3 out of 32 per round. Our first chance to check in with our unofficial scorer, Harold Letterman.
Margarito got him up against the ropes, got real.
But can he sustain this pace for 12 rounds? Margarito's putting a lot of pressure on him. And Margarito's defense is a lot better than the public is giving credit for.
Miguel Cotto hasn't exactly faded in the late rounds.
Throwing a lot of punches from different angles.
And just the psychological pressure Margarito exerts by constantly coming forward.
That straight right hand. Margarito is walking through Cotto's best firepower.
Yes, he is.
Well, most who favored Cotto favored him on points.
that he can outbox Margarito most of the way.
No doubt about it.
Body shots by Antonio. Cotto may regret having stopped in a corner, but now he comes back with a hard right hand and a left hook and an uppercut. Built on his 9 out of 29 jabs. Once again, Cotto begins circling to his left again.
But Margarito, who is a little bit slower, but he punches good with both hands, even though he's a little slower.
Margarito able to find Cotto with the right hand there. Now lands a roundhouse right. Cotto holding his gloves very high in this round, guarding his head. Uppercut by Cotto.
Margarito also appears to be getting a little closer with those right hands.
Margarito dancing with it, trying to cut him off. Cotto lands a left hook, and Margarito frustrated as he looks for opportunities.
Very frustrated, and Cotto realizes he's 7 more rounds of going at this pace. If he can do that, he can win the fight, but if he can't, he's going to have a big problem.
Tends to win the flurries.
And this is what makes him, depending on what kind of judge you are. A lot of judges like the guy going forward.
2 hard right hands first, Margarito. Cotto comes back with the left, eats another right hand, ducks 3 right hands in a row.
Just give you the sense, especially when Cotto drops his hands, as he did at the end of the last round, up where he left off at the end of the last round, at least throwing more punches and landing some with force, even when they don't land cleanly.
And Cotto comes back with, as long as Cotto can show the judges that he lands the cleaner punches, if Margarito begins to land more, then the fact that he's going forward and applying all the pressure may augur in his favor.
It's interesting that one guy is putting all the pressure on him, and another guy is retreating, as you say, but landing the really clean, effective punches. So this fight could be judged anyway, man. And I feel Cotto's definitely won almost every round virtually. But
most of his career, Miguel Cotto has used his feet to put pressure on opposing fighters. Tonight he's trying to use his feet to keep pressure off. It's a classic reversal. And now Margarito throws all the shots as Cotto looks for space.
And that's very discouraging to any fighter.
Hard right hand by Cotto. And a good left hook. Margarito fires away to the body 3 times.
I think Cotto's actually dominating this round again. Margarito is really making him pay a price in this round with those body shots.
Cotto blocked most of those and then slipped the others. But it looks to the crowd as though Margarito is putting all the pressure on.
6, Antonio Margarito figured the only way I'm going to get to this guy is to slow him up with body shots, and I thought he whacked real well to the body to win that round. I've got a 4-2 total, but Jim Bayless has got to let Margarito fight inside, otherwise Margarito don't have a chance.
Certainly Margarito, Emmanuel, as you mentioned, changed the momentum in the last round.
The momentum to me is going to Margarito, even though he may be losing the fight. And he's working that shot I told you about up through the center very effectively now, the left uppercut.
Yep. This is the first round where I feel that Margarito is fighting on even terms with Cotto.
So even if I would be in Cotto's corner, I would be
Cotto's hurt, guys.
Cotto's badly hurt by a series of Margarito uppercuts that hammered him. Margarito goes right back to the left-hand uppercuts. Cotto is in trouble.
And this ain't Ricardo Torres.
Cotto's looking for breathing room, and there is none. He has to fight his way out for breathing room. He gets hit by a hard right hand. Margarito throwing uppercut after uppercut. He might launch 120 punches in the round. Cotto turns southpaw.
I think we're seeing the effects of that body work that Harold was talking
and
about
now
in the
a series
last
of
round.
clean punches for Cotto. Gives him breathing room to back away. Cotto blocking most of these. Margarito with an unbelievable chin just keeps coming. It's that amazing Margarito beard that's putting a lot of pressure on Miguel Cotto. Miguel just can't hurt him.
Jim, this is exactly the way I figured the fight was going to go. I've been in these situations similar to some degree, but never with a big man like this. And
tremendous shots by Cotto. A hard right hand by Margarito. And he lands another uppercut. Cotto trying to get a rest. What a round.
It's a lot of guys who have those big volume of...
Through 7 rounds, Antonio Margarito has already...
Well, we know Cotto has showed his grit before. That's one thing now he's better this big. Though.
He's facing epic pressure tonight. Who does?
That's a good point, man.
Who does? Cotto's landing thudding blows and dancing forward.
He's moving in with his little jig. He's just as happy like he enjoys the situation.
Short, but it's getting closer and closer.
Margarito reaching with the right hand there as Cotto uncharacteristically moved to his right. Miguel dodging. Want to regain his equilibrium and a mental foothold in the fight. And he may have it back. As
Jim, I have Cotto up a couple points, but
Excited about the last rounds and the most exciting, but be comfortable with the situation.
and even as
can't
Cotto
run out the clock against Antonio Margarito.
and even as Cotto does what he just did, which was land a series of unanswered punches.
Cotto sitting on the middle rope as Margarito fired away with a bunch of punches again.
And the next stop from middle rope is the floor. It's the next place he'll be sitting at if he wants to do something similar.
The fact is, Margarito landed nothing big in the last round and hasn't landed anything big so far in all the mental impressions augur in favor of the Mexican star. Throwing nearly as many. Now Margarito starts to land again. Cotto ducking and slipping and firing back as Margarito continued to try to apply a welter of punches, but without big effect.
But
Body shot landed from Margarito. Keep going to the body. Good left hook by Miguel Cotto, and he backs away. This is a hard round for judges to score.
86, 85, 5 rounds to 4. I thought he had a very, very good ninth round. So I've got Miguel Cotto up 1 point.
Mostly favoring Antonio Margarito, but Margarito 25 out of 80. Cotto landing 30 total punches in the round.
Stick around to land the second and third. You're going to get hit in exchange.
Another huge left hook by Miguel Cotto.
yeah, unless you just throw in his judges.
Good right hand there by Cotto. Blocking and ducking and slipping too, Emmanuel. And you talked about Margarito's defense early on. I've been impressed with Cotto's defense since he's been under pressure from the middle part of the fight.
Yeah, same too.
And this is so far another round like the ninth.
It's like hitting a brick wall that continues to close in.
Now Margarito with one of his patented rallies. And Cotto just backs away without trying to answer it. Margarito getting the better of him here.
This goes out up until this point.
Cotto's hurt. Cotto's hurt.
I had Cotto winning this round up until this last flurry.
Acknowledging perhaps that he was hurt on that flurry, and he lands a big right hand to end the round. A brewing classic in Las Vegas.
And when you look at Cotto's face, he looks like the loser. He looks like the guy who's taken the beating.
And we know that can be a big factor sometimes too. Not just the face, but the facial expression even for the most part.
11th round of a scheduled 12.
I mean, we know Cotto's heavy-handed, and we see him landing these titanic shots, and they don't seem to faze Margarito.
And it's Cotto who's bleeding from the nose and the mouth, and who's been retreating throughout the entire fight. These are big mental impressions for judges.
Those little Margarito short shots on the inside now, Emmanuel.
Oh yeah.
And Cotto goes to a knee. Succumbing to the pressure, much the way Zab Judah succumbed to the pressure against him last year. Antonio Margarito has finally gotten his man to bend. Miguel Cotto getting beaten up by a bigger man.
It's over.
He's exhausted, and it's almost over. The punishment has accumulated to the point where Cotto has nothing left. There's no point in Kenny Bayless allowing this to proceed.
No, it's over. It's over.
And Evangelista Cotto's going to throw in the towel. And Antonio Margarito has the victory he's been waiting for all his life.
That is a modern boxing classic.
Closing sequence. And this is just a case of Miguel Cotto succumbing to the constant pressure. 2 uppercuts.
Yeah.
This time Kenny Bayless steps in and prevents any more harm. And Evangelista Cotto, Miguel's uncle, got up onto the apron and tossed in a towel. Recognizing what everyone else at ringside could see.
Round number 11, the winner by TKO victory. Now a 3-time welterweight champion of the world, the Tijuana Tornado, Antonio Margarito.